Code of conduct.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I put in extra work that just can't be found. I took the sword out the stone, wasn't a thing. Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king. Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king. God made me punch in accurate numbers. My castle won't crumble. What I tackle will fumble. I've been a leader when they ain't see it, but now my feet is up. According to me, royalty didn't end with King Tut. Crown on my head, clouds is at my legs. Big says sky is the limit. I look down on the ledge. I push the bar like I'm opening a cell. Hands in my cookie jar, you won't come out with a single nail. I need all of mine. The weight of my shoulders won't fit on a scale. What's a king to a giant? Well, Goliath fell. Even if we playin' chess, dog, this king can't be checked. I make all my moves on the board, I invented my steps. I'm a king, the blood of a ruler, I feel like Mansa Musa. Make your squad disappear like landing by the Bermuda. Triangle, look at it from my angle. I'm a king, the closest thing to being one of God's angels. I'm a king. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I put in extra work that just can't be found. I took the sword out the stone, wasn't a thing. Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king. Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. This is the Code of Conduct King podcast. I am your host, JSpenceTheKing, and you are listening to this on the Buffalo Rumblings Vidcast and Podcast Network, presented by Picasso Pizza. Treat yourself to the most flavorful pizza on game day, Picasso Pizza. We are Buffalo. I done messed the whole read up, Jesse, because I'm not happy. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, Jesse knows why I'm not happy. Oh, I see my man Big Newt, and I'm gonna bring him in too real quick. What's up, Big Newt?
What's going on, man? Can you hear me? Check 1 2 1 2.
Yeah,
okay.
I can hear you, man. I was gonna rant for a bit, and then while the intro was going, I said, you know what? I'm just not even gonna do it. I'm not even gonna rant. I'm not gonna because you know what I mean? Like I love the Bills, and I'm trying not to break up with them. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna update everybody on the news that happened today, and then we're gonna jump right into the whole reason for the show today. We're gonna be talking a lot about the New York Jets and Green Bay Packers and kind of this saga that's going on with Aaron Rodgers. I don't know why we expected anything differently. Jesse and I talked about that real quick. I'm like, every year is you know, Aaron Rodgers is doing craziness. But today the Buffalo Bills re-signed Cam Lewis to a 1-year deal. They re-signed Tyrell Dodson, my man T-Dot. Shout out to T-Dot. Re-signed him to a 1-year deal. Yesterday they agreed to terms with, or the other day, I guess, Sam Martin and Taylor Matakevich. I always say his name wrong. And they also extended Matt Milano for 2 years through 2026. They also, let me see, man. Can you tell I'm a little ticked off, Newt?
I can hear it in your voice, man. You flustered, bro. You flustered.
My energy
right
is
now.
This ain't the normal JSpenceTheKing energy for the Code of Conduct. I normally be, you know what I mean? I'm normally a little bit more excited to do this. I have fun doing this, but this week ain't been fun at all for me. It ain't been fun at all.
Well, tell the people what's up. What's up,
man? So the Chicago Bears gave Tremaine Edmonds a 4-year, $72 million deal with $50 million guaranteed. It's the fourth largest. It's the largest 4-year contract for an inside linebacker in the NFL. Great for Tremaine Edmonds. I'm happy he got his bag. I'm happy that he's going somewhere where he's wanted. I'm happy that, you know, like I'm happy for him. I love him, and I'm happy for him. But when I tell you how disappointed I am in the Buffalo Bills for allowing this thing to happen, not even like forget right now. Like forget right now. They could have got Tremaine Edmonds and Jordan Poyer for cheap last year before the season started if they did extensions. They could have worked this out. You knew what you had in Tremaine Edmonds. He's 24 years old. You know what? And at this point, whatever the comments are saying, for some of the fans as haters talking about Tremaine ain't that good or whatever. Okay, y'all gonna be wishing him back by week 5. Y'all gonna be wishing him back by week 5. Just like I told y'all years ago how y'all was gonna be hoping for a punt return position after they gave that to Isaiah McKenzie. I'm telling y'all now, y'all gonna be praying that we had another linebacker to go with Matt Milano. There ain't one in the draft that's gonna give you what Tremaine Edmonds gives you. There ain't one left in the okay. You want to say Bobby Wagner? Do we really want to? I like Bobby Wagner. You do not want to sign a dude that's ready for retirement. So that's not a shot at Bobby Wagner. I like Wagner. You don't need that. You had a 24-year-old that you drafted, you developed. He was your captain. He was a Pro Bowler. He was the play caller, and you can't tell me you're gonna just let that go. You didn't even tender him. You didn't even tender him to say, well, if you're gonna leave, let's get back a third round, let's get back a second round pick let's get back a first round. Nothing. You just let Tremaine Edmonds walk out of Orchard Park and go to Chicago to get the largest contract for a middle linebacker in NFL. When you could have got him for cheap last year.
Yep.
Ain't nothing about this. This ain't a good week for me, y'all. Okay, this ain't a good week for me. So I'm gonna just tell y'all now, if y'all don't want to listen to the show, I fully understand. If y'all don't listen to those that's listening by podcast, if you don't want to listen, I understand. For those of you on YouTube, if this ain't the energy that you came for, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. My man Jesse used to always say, I ain't saying, I'm just saying. You're gonna let Tremaine, and then now tomorrow. So tomorrow, I'm pretty sure Jordan Poyer is gonna sign somewhere else other than Buffalo. So now you're gonna miss out on your. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets, because I don't understand, Jesse. For years, bro, it was because it was a 17-year playoff drought. 17-year playoff drought. We didn't make the playoffs. We didn't have the players good enough to make the playoffs. We didn't have the right coaching staff. We didn't have the right front office. Couldn't make the playoffs. Now you get a coach, you get a front office, you get these players that come in that you draft and you develop, and we make the playoffs 5 out of 6 years. And now it's a consistent thing, and you just let that go for nothing. And then what are you going to replace it with? And again, forget what all these other – I get it. You're going to have some of the fans that's going to talk that talk anyway. You're going to have it. Let them talk that talk. I'm going to tell you right now. Y'all going to be missing Tremaine Edmonds by week 4. I don't know if y'all remember the Minnesota game. When we played against the Minnesota Vikings in Buffalo, the game that Justin Jefferson caught that crazy catch, Tremaine Edmonds was in the first half. He got injured in the second quarter. What did the second half look like? Please tell me what the second half looked like. What did the run game look like in the first half compared to the second half? Tell me how quarterbacks throw in the middle of the field when Tremaine is in there versus how they throw when he's not. They eat on us week after week. Anytime he's not in, they eat over the middle. And guess what? I'm happy about Matt Milano's extension. I'm very happy about Matt Milano's extension. He is a very good player. He was an all-pro this past season. I am happy we are keeping Matt Milano. But there's also a reason why Matt Milano didn't shut down that defense when Tremaine went out. They're a tandem. They work well together. You need Tremaine Edmonds. Mm-hmm. And then, like I said, now we about to lose out on Poyer. You got Miami fans, like, they're celebrating. They made a trade for Jalen Ramsey. They got one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Now, granted, next year, not this season coming up, but the following season, they're going to have some tough decisions. They got a lot of money on the books. So they're going to have to figure that out. But right now, they're going for it. This year, the Miami Dolphins improved by a lot. I don't care I get it. We Bills fans, we're going to talk that talk. I'm telling you, they improved by a lot. The New York Jets, they're about to trade for one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history. Did he have the best year last season? No, he didn't. He didn't have the best year last year, but guess what? He's one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history. He had a bad thumb, Jesse's saying. And for those listening by pod, you couldn't see it. He had a bad thumb. He was injured. Okay, but he didn't have the best season, but guess what? That ain't got nothing to do with this season. Every year is a completely new year. You got 2 teams that's leveling up, and you lose 2 of the biggest pieces of your defense. So all that talk that we like to talk about, top 5 defense over the last however many years. Good luck. Good luck. I mean, like really, good luck. Von Miller,
I wish I was there with you, man. I would give you a hug. You need a hug right now.
I need a hug. I need a drink. I need somebody to send me Crown Royal or something. And this ain't even really how I feel. Like, I understand that this is a podcast, so I know I can't use certain language and I know I can't say certain things. I understand. But this is not the way. This is not the way you run an. What's up, Jesse?
What's going on? Tell them how you really feel. Go ahead.
How's it for ladies and gentlemen? My brother, my friend Jesse is joining the show. He was on the show earlier in the year when the Buffalo Bills hosted the Green Bay Packers for Monday Night Football, and it was one of the best episodes of the year. So I'm happy to have him back. My man Big Newt is part of Buffalo Rumblings, and he is always having dope content. So I love the combination of having these two brothers on, and I just want to have a good conversation about the AFC East. And I'm done with my rant. If I start my rant up again, Big Newt, is on you. Tell me, hey Spence, you said you stopping.
Hey man, I'm glad you started with the rant, bro, because I was gonna text you earlier. Because when I get on other people's stuff, I like to feed, because I know how I am on my podcast. Once again, check out the Jamie D. Big Newt show every other Wednesday during the off season, bi-weekly. But I was I was gonna text you and be like, hey man, what's the theme we going with? Because I mean, I'm echoing everything you saying, man. I can't imagine us being the same. I don't want to be negative, but I'm not negative Nancy. I'm realistic Reggie, bro. I can't imagine us being the same team without Leslie Frazier, without Tremaine Edmonds. If Poyer walks, then you saw the tweet that your boy Ed Oliver came out with this weekend. He's saying either pay me or don't talk to me. So he disgruntled. I just don't. And then now you bringing Aaron Rodgers in. You're bringing Aaron Rodgers in to our league. Miami's getting better. It's just I right now I don't know what the draft gonna be like. The rest of free agency gonna be like. But right now, man, where we sitting with the tournament starting, yeah, I feel like people are passing us, man. Right now, that's how I feel.
And you know what? I'm agreeing with you because this is some of the stuff that I've been seeing and reading and hearing too. Well, we got Bernard. We drafted him in the 3rd round, and we just signed T. Dot back. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, I love both of those dudes. T. Dot is one of the coolest dudes that I actually know on the team. I love him. Good dude. I am not taking shots at either of them in any way. But if your plan as Brandon Beane is to replace Tremaine Edmonds with T. Dot or Bernard, I'm gonna tell you right now, you failed as a planner. That is a horrible plan. You are not replacing the production that we get from Tremaine Edmonds with those two guys. Is there somebody in the draft that I don't want to draft a middle linebacker in the 1st round? I need a wide receiver for this team. I don't want it. Like, we need offense. The reason why we lost that game, you could talk about the defense giving up 27 points. Guess what? The offense scored 10. Josh, look, and y'all know how I feel about Josh. Y'all know I'm a ride the wheels till the wheels fall off. That's my dog. Top 3 quarterback in the league, regardless of what anybody say to me. But you can't be top 3 and score 10 points in a divisional round at home. You can't do it. Go ahead, Jesse.
The quarterback that's going to the Jets did the exact same thing a couple years ago against San Francisco and lost. So maybe that'll make you feel a little better.
It happens. It happens, but it don't make me feel better because this is the window. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the last 2 years, really the year before last, but the last 2 years, we should have really we should have really put that hammer down. And you scored 10 points at home all year. We've been talking about home field advantage in the playoffs. And you got it. You have it. You're at home. And then don't go and talk to nobody from Buffalo. I'm from Buffalo, but I don't talk like this. Oh, the snow is a home field advantage. Home field advantage to be it didn't look like it. It damn sure didn't look like it. You let I'm not even gonna say his name, but you let that dude run all over us. Come on, man. Home field advantage. Aaron Rodgers potentially is going to the New York Football Jets, and let's okay, Jesse, first to you, because I know we've kind of had conversations actually for a couple years where it seems like either he's going to retire or he wants to ask for a trade, or he don't know what he wants to do, and it kind of goes through this every year. It seems like this year, for the first time, the Packers are actually like, well, no, it don't seem like it. It is like it, where they like, no,
it is.
Like, you can go ahead and go. What's the general, like, what's the feeling in Packers country, or whatever y'all call your fan base, cheesehead country, about the way this is going?
Well, it started really after he got his new contract. Aaron Rodgers really started taking off the OTAs and the training camps, not wanting to be there for activities, not really staying and working with the new guys. And then Devontae left. Once Devontae left, we drafted 3 wide receivers that was going to need some work. Aaron Rodgers refused to come to training camp, didn't want to come in to do the extra work with those guys to get everybody implemented into the offense. He didn't want to do the extra work. The team felt like he wasn't really being the leader that he should have been. They felt like he just sat back and he got his contract and got comfortable. Now, the bad part is that he's about to get traded to the Jets. That's the type of thing to get him fired up. So he finna be on it. He finna do everything he need to do to prove everybody wrong for thinking that Aaron Rodgers couldn't do what he didn't get done last year. He finna go out to the Jets and he gonna ball out.
Well, let me ask you this, because I look at and now this is honestly, I don't never throw shade on the Packers because I like the Packers, but I feel like the players that he gave the Jets a list of players that he wants to sign, right? And I feel like the Jets, as they were, like before you add any of the free agents that they're bringing in now, I feel like the Jets, as they were literally a quarterback away from being great. They have one of the best defenses in the league. They have a great young running back in Hall before he was injured. They have good young receivers. They have a good, I just feel like they have a really good team, and Aaron Rodgers plugged into that team makes it work. But now you want to, give me Randall Cobb. I think he's on the wrong side of his career. You're talking about so do you think that this is actually going to help the Jets? And I get what you're saying about Rodgers, but I just don't feel like this helps the Jets take a step forward. I actually think you're going to dilute the talent that they have by bringing other guys to play with them. Right.
They're gonna mess up what they could have had by bringing in everybody that he want to play with because he want to bring all his friends in with him. Alan Lazard already been signed, so Lazard is there. And Lazard is a good receiver, but only if you want him to be your number 3 or worse. Mm-hmm. He was supposedly our number 1 receiver last year. That don't work. So with Alan Lazard there, they got Garrett Wilson there. So they're going to be good with that. But then Randall Cobb don't have no place. He don't have no business being there. He want him to bring in Big Dog. Mm-hmm. He's really a 6th offensive lineman. He probably want Big Dog there to block. Big Dog just a buddy. I've been hearing that they won't even bring in I'm sorry, the name is escaping me now, bro. But our other free agent tight end, he's wanting to bring him in with him.
Oh yeah, I saw it, and I can't remember his name either. Go ahead, I'll look it up while you're talking. Yeah,
so he wants to bring in all his friends there, and he just diluting everything and messing it up. It's not gonna work for him to bring all those players in. He's gonna get the same results he got in Green Bay.
It's just wild to me. What was it? Mercedes Lewis, right?
Mercedes Lewis is Big Dog. I'm sorry. I call y'all probably wouldn't know that name, but that's Mercedes Lewis. I was talking about Big Bob Tonyan.
Okay.
Robert Tonyan.
So, okay. I didn't even see that he asked for Tonyan. That's crazy. That's
he didn't have him on his list, but yeah, they were talking about them trying to sign Tonyan as a free agent too.
Okay, Big Newt, let me ask you this, man, because there was a comment up in here real quick, and then I'll even get your perspective on this too, Jesse. RJ says the Bills are now probably 3rd in the division with Rodgers to the Jets. How do you feel about that?
I can see that. If a fan wants to call in and say that, I can't argue with them. People are getting better around us, and it's like we're standing pat. And that's the thing. I don't know if y'all read it, but we restructured contracts of Josh Allen and
Von Miller.
Von Miller, thank you. And so that's gonna free up money. And I tweeted it out. I'm like, okay, $32 million. Let's go shopping. We got to get better. We got to get past Kansas City. We got to get past the Bengals. So that's what I want to see us do in free agency. And it's like we're losing guys. So if other people get better and we're losing guys, what would make you think except you just being optimistic? It's like go Bills, but we're not doing nothing on paper to get better. So I just, like you said, everybody had a problem with Tremaine Edmonds, and I get it. In the run game, he probably isn't as stout as you wanted. He was a great cover guy. He's kind of like Milano, but he's so big and freakishly athletic. Like you said, it's hard to replace that. Now, can we get a thumper? Can we get somebody that's probably better against the run and less against the pass? Probably. I mean, I've heard that we're going to go at the kid from Tampa Bay, David, Levante David. And so that'll be great. I mean, you know, but I just, you can't, a young, he's 24 years old, 25 years old, made 2-3 Pro Bowls already. And now that we free up the money, I just didn't understand why you don't keep him. And when you're Buffalo, unfortunately, I mean, I'm not from there, obviously. I'm from St. Louis, but grew up a Buffalo Bills fan my whole life. But when you're in small markets, sometimes you got to overpay. You got a bargain basement deal with Josh Allen. So if we had to overpay to keep Tremaine Edmonds, I mean, I thought that it was worth it. I know a lot of people don't feel the same way, but I thought it was worth it. Once again, the middle of our defense is going to be gone. Our defensive coordinator is going to be gone. I just don't see how that, and then the other people will get better. I just don't see how that equals just as many wins we had this
year. Jesse, what you think about it?
If you're going to go get Levante David, it don't make sense to let Tremaine Edmonds leave because you're going to probably pay him the same thing. So why would you let somebody that's already on the team that has already made a name for itself and a base, you know, for itself with the team, why would you even let him walk to go get somebody else to bring him in that spot? And you're going to get the same or probably worse results because Levante David he can make up for the mistakes that he make with his speed on the field, but, you know, he's a flashy kind of player. It's all or nothing with him. He get going and he constantly make plays, but when he get out of it, it's like it get to him mentally and he can be taken out of the game.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll cost the same at this point. I think the linebacker market, the way it's rounding out, I don't think he's going to get that type of contract. So, you know, we saw what the Cowboys did. They brought back their guy. We saw it's a few linebackers that kind of went that other than Tremaine is that number's not up there. But for RJ, with him saying that he thinks that the Bills are going to be in third, my question to that, and I think Jesse can relate to this too, when I say this, having Rodgers for the time that you did, Josh Allen didn't die. He didn't retire. Nothing happened to Joshua Patrick Allen. So to me, if I have the best quarterback in the division, which I still believe we do, I think Aaron Rodgers is that guy. He's a top 5 quarterback of all time to me. But this year, I can't say that I think he's based on last year. Again, we know he had the injured thumb. We know. So, I mean, he might come out this year and be on fire and he might be that dude again. But as of right now, I just can't see the Buffalo Bills being behind. Even let's just hypothetically say the Jets do take that type of step forward and they're the best in the division. Miami don't have a better quarterback. The Patriots damn sure don't have a better quarterback. I'm still riding with the Bills. Yesterday I was emotional when I was like, I swear to God, I'm breaking up with the Bills. Like all of that stuff I was talking, I was emotional. So listen, it's a toxic relationship. You know what I mean? I know y'all been in them where y'all argue, y'all break up, then y'all get back together, you know, and that's me and Buffalo Bills right now. So y'all just y'all pray for me. But
we all been there.
Yeah. So I mean, with that being said, there's no way that I'm gonna say that the Buffalo Bills are the third best team in the division at this point. And that's even with Jalen Ramsey going to the Dolphins. I think they made some pretty good moves, but they have Tua. I'm still just not scared of Tua. He did very good with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle last year, but it's not like, you know, I'm not looking at that dude like, yo, he's about to take another step forward and he's really the MVP this year. I don't look at Tua that way. So, but now back to Aaron Rodgers going, and you know, so this past year, Jesse, I know because you made mention of it, or you showed it when I was talking about him, that his thumb was injured. So, and that was for the bulk of the season, really, right? Or just about the whole season.
Yeah, he injured his thumb in London when they were playing the Giants. He injured his thumb at the end of that game, and for really probably the next 10 weeks, that thumb bothered him because they didn't do. I still don't understand how you're sitting up saying you're going to move on from Aaron Rodgers and play Jordan Love, and he's ready to play. And last year, when Aaron Rodgers broke his thumb, you didn't let Jordan Love play. That don't sit well with me. But he had that thumb injured, and then he went on through the year, and he injured a rib as well. So he had a rib injury and a thumb injury that really didn't heal until after our bye week, which was week 13. We had a late bye week last year. So he was struggling with injuries until the end of the year. But even after they so-called healed, he still was playing the same way. He was missing. He couldn't throw a swing pass.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things he needs to fix. And maybe he's been working on that footwork, and he's going to come back with the Jets and do the same thing he did after we drafted Jordan Love. When we drafted Jordan Love, he went out to prove that he wasn't ready to be replaced. So now he's been replaced. He's going to try to go out and prove that it was a mistake replacing him.
I just think it's crazy because, like, just taking a step back, like, to be a quarterback of his caliber for the length of time that he's been that caliber, you would think that, like, you just wouldn't ever have those problems anymore. Like, going forward, it's like you can't throw a swing pass no more. You can't throw short to intermediate passes on the dime like you used to. You just don't think that happens with quarterbacks of that caliber. And it's just wild to me that, throughout the years, he can have an off year like that and, like, the injury, but even after the injury. Yeah, that's just wild to me. Newt, you got anything on like the injury or what your perspective or perception on Rodgers from last year now going into this season?
No.
Oh, Newt left us.
Oh, did we lose?
Newt left us, but that's okay. So one of the things that I did want to ask you about too, because again, talking about this, I look at this and we were texting about this and you were like, nah, it's not quite the same. I look at this as like, this is Brett Favre 2.0, like, and then it goes down to first every summer, every offseason, because it's not quite summer yet, but every offseason, he retires or he unretires, or he doesn't know if he wants to retire, or he wants to wait, or he doesn't know. So then, and it's the same thing with Aaron Rodgers, it seems like over the last few years. And then now Aaron Rodgers is going to the Jets, same place that the Packers traded Brett Favre to. And now you feel like it's not quite the same, even though it's the same team, you feel like it's not quite the same. Why do you feel like it's not pretty much the same thing?
Because first, it wasn't Aaron Rodgers' issues wasn't retiring in the beginning. It was he felt slighted that we drafted Jordan Love, which was the same as Brett Favre with Aaron Rodgers. The only difference is when we drafted Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre was already talking about retiring. He was already saying, look, I'm about to hang him up. I'm going to try and give it one or two more years to try and get a championship in here. And then they went and they drafted a quarterback in the first round instead of a weapon. And they put that burr in his saddle. So he went out, played a couple more years with us, and then he started waffling back and forth again, and the team decided the exact same way that they're going to move on. Aaron Rodgers never waffled about retiring. The one time that he did bring up the issue of retirement, he was talking about, well, I'm going to make sure that I don't hold the team hostage, and I'm going to go ahead and I'll let them know before free agency start. Last year, he did that. The 8th of March, he let the team know that he was going to play again. A lot of people think that once a quarterback's thinking about retiring, it's time to get rid of him. So last year, that season is what they got out of him. And that, plus the fact that they thought that he wasn't, giving it his all, they decided they needed to go on and move on with Jordan Love. So that's where they was at. And then going to the Jets is they're making this to be more of his decision. With Brett Favre, it was, you going to go over here to the Jets because we not sending you to Minnesota like you want us to do. We're not sending you over there. We're not sending you to nobody in the NFC. Take your pick in the AFC. So they forced him to go to the Jets. They even made the Jets put a stipulation in that trade that they couldn't trade him back to Minnesota.
Right. I remember that. And then I remember because once he finally did go to Minnesota, it was a huge deal when the game hit. Like it was, I remember Brett Favre was something else, man.
And he smoked us both games that we played them. He smoked us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But the following year, we gave it back to him, and that's when we won that Super Bowl. So.
And fun fact here: the Buffalo Bills technically retired Brett Favre. I'm not sure if everybody remembers that, but that injury that we put on him, that hit in the last game that he played against the Bills, was what did him in. Big Newt, you dropped out on us when I was asking you a question. Go ahead and if you want to finish there.
Yeah, I apologize, man. I'm out here on the road, man. My son football practice, so I'm sitting in the car. But what I was saying was, I think when Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets, and Jesse might have touched on this when I got off, but when the Packers drafted Love that next year, Aaron Rodgers was MVP, wasn't he?
Yeah, next two.
Yeah. The next couple of years. So I think if he go to the Jets, he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder and he want to prove everybody wrong. He's known to do that. I mean, some people need things like this to get going. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I hate to say this, but right now, free agency, pre-draft, I will have to disagree with you, Spence, man. I think the Jets probably, if you add Aaron Rodgers, their roster, dude, they got the rookie of the year offense and defense. Like, I don't know, man. We Jets, man, as a Bills fan, I'm scared. Like, yeah, I do agree with you. We got the third best top 5 quarterback in the league. But Josh, man, in the playoffs, when you only score 10 points, I can't say that we're going to be better than Jets. I can't slap the table on that. We got it. I feel like I'm just saying all that to say is we have to get better. We can't just sit on our laurels and think we're good because of Josh Allen. Because if we do that, then people will pass us.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, with all due respect, I love you, Big Newt. You crazy as hell. Ain't no way I'm going to let you sit here and talk about my dog, Josh Allen, like that. You crazy. Nah, you crazy. No, I'm with you. I understand where you're coming from. We do have to get better. But see, this is another reason why I'm so upset about the Tremaine Edmonds thing and why I'm so upset about Jordan Poyer and why I'm so upset about whatever other holes that we have now that you could have shored up. You know what I mean? Like you had it to where your roster had minimal. Like you didn't have holes. You didn't have big things you had to worry about. Now going into the draft, in my mind, if you don't have holes, let's spend that first round draft pick on the most dynamic wide receiver that's available when you're drafted. Let's spend that pick on, or whatever you need, a big. You draft fat guys for the offensive line. We need some fat dudes to protect Josh. Like that's where I want us to spend that first and second round draft pick. Instead, now it's like, oh, well, we have to replace Tremaine Edmonds, or oh man, we don't have the proper replacement for Jordan Poyer, or the way the defensive line played against the damn Bengals last year when they had 3 backup offensive linemen in the playoffs. We couldn't get to the quarterback without Von Miller.
Yep.
Now you're thinking, do we need to draft another defensive lineman? So now you just have all these holes. And like I said, I wasn't going to rant about Tremaine Edmonds again. Let's
Yeah,
I'm with you.
You still got to give them a chance. Get a front office a chance to see what they can fix, though, in this offseason. You still got free agency going. You still going to have the draft, whether you like it or not. The draft is going to help you. I mean, the draft is going to help you. The free agency is going to help you. And then you got, just as you say, you got Josh. This NFL games come down to how good your quarterback plays. As long as Josh Allen is playing football, y'all going to be all right. For real.
You let me be emotional. You let me be emotional. Don't you? You and Newt.
I know that's your guy.
I'm saying you and Newt coming on here with all this logic and all of this making sense. But no, I hear you and I get it. But here's my problem too. And I've said this I think last week or the week before, Sterling and I on the chop up were talking, and I said, here's the issue. We went through every draft class for the last 4 years of the Buffalo Bills. And guess what? Out of the last 3 years, they hit on 6 players. And that's the truth. I don't have the time to pull the graphics back up and do it like I did, but I'm telling you, for those of you listening to my podcast, go back and listen to the chop up from 2 weeks ago. It's still on YouTube, all that stuff. I'm telling you, we went through it and they hit on 6 guys in 3 drafts. Most guys aren't even on the roster anymore. A lot of guys got plucked off the practice squad. Other guys got cut. I mean, that's the serious, honest to God truth. So now you're assuming the draft is going to help us. But guess what? We haven't hit on a draft like completely since probably the year that Josh Allen was drafted. Like the full draft where we just went in and was like, oh yeah, we did it. We haven't. So when I look at that, we haven't hit on a second round draft pick in God knows how long, man. We drafted, and I say this every time because it annoys me. We drafted Cody Ford over DK. Come on, man. We drafted Cody Ford.
The Packers had the same issue in the third round, bro. Every team hate their GM. They think that the GMs do not know how to draft.
But no, that's the thing.
You.
but check this. In Buffalo, we worship Brandon Beane. We think, like, honest to God, before all of this stuff kind of started to fall apart, we kind of just we looked at him with the love of what the team was. So it was like, oh, it don't matter. He's great with the cap. He's great signing players. He's great. So we didn't look at Brandon Beane like that. And now that you're looking at the holes that we have to fill, it's like, well, wait a minute. What happened to the draft picks? Like yeah, we got to pay Josh Allen. So why isn't the roster constructed in such a way that you still have guys on rookie contracts that you have to deal with? And then you go back and you actually break it down. And that's why I'm saying now, if you would have talked to me 3 months ago, I'm like, oh no, man, Brandon Beane is he is all of that. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna say the word I was about to say because I caught myself. But you know what I mean? It's like that's how I saw Brandon Beane, and that's how most of Buffalo sees Brandon Beane. But again,
you know why?
Go ahead, Newt, my bad.
No, I interrupt you. I was just gonna say, you know why we revere him in Buffalo? Is because one thing. He hit on Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
So it don't matter. You're right. His draft has been mediocre. You're right. But he hit on the most important thing. And that's why we look at him like that. You're right.
But okay, yes. So I'm gonna take that a step further. He hit on that thing, so that's why we love him. But now you take it a step further. We did have you remember they brought in, now it was technically before Brandon Beane got here, but they brought in Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde. They brought in some guys that didn't get the love that other teams, like they wanted for other teams. They came into Buffalo, found the right fit. Those guys worked. They drafted Trey White. They drafted Tremaine Edmonds, Matt Milano. So again, they had some drafts where it was like, yo, they're hitting. After those drafts, man, Teron Johnson and those guys, after those drafts, the last three, when you get time, ladies, when y'all get time, either listen from when you're done listening to this pod or done watching on YouTube, seriously, go back and look at the last 3 draft class of the Buffalo Bills, and then either find me on Twitter, leave a comment here on YouTube. I'll come back and check the comments or something, but leave a comment, send us an email, something. And I'm telling you, if you want to dispute this, I'm going to do a show coming up soon anyway, where I'm actually going to just have people that don't do content, but just pop in. I want to talk to everybody. Tell me where I'm wrong, but I'm telling you, if you go back and look at those draft classes, we hit on 6 guys over the last 3 years, 6 draft picks. You get what, 7 rounds of draft picks?
Yeah. You get 1 pick, 7 rounds.
And some of them drafts, we had multiple picks. We had multiple picks. Yeah.
So you're looking at like 24, 23 picks, and you hit on 6?
Compensatory picks and all that go in. So, yeah.
So again, I don't want to bash on Brandon Beane because I do think we still have a very good GM. I think we have a good coach. I get it. Right now, I'm feeling a little down because my guy is gone. Shout out to I can't even pull the sign up much anymore, man. I can't do the sign no more, man. I can't put my sign up because he's gone. I'm wearing my Poyer for All Pro We Riot hoodie. So I get it. These is about to be like gone. They gone. I can't rock it no more. I can't show the sign. I get it.
So Poyer just gone. He not no shot of coming back.
I mean, there's always a shot, but
I'd be happy to take him in Green Bay if you want to.
Why don't we keep him? We gotta keep him at this point, right?
Well,
we didn't get Edmonds, so we got to get Poyer. If he ain't just already soured on Buffalo, we got to do what it takes to get him. Keep him. Even we got to overpay him. Even if we got to overpay him, man, we got to keep Poyer. We got to keep him for continuity's sake.
Hey, ain't saying nothing that I don't want to accept. What I'm telling you is at this point, he's a free agent. The Buffalo Bills had exclusive rights to sign him all during the season. They could have extended him prior to last season. They had the opportunity prior to this week to have discussions and get the deal done, and it hasn't been done. Now he's a free agent, and I'm just based on what I feel like I know about my guy is and you muted. I don't know if you're talking, but based on what I know about my guy, he's out of this joint.
Hey, I gotta get going, y'all. I gotta sign out, so we about to drive. So I'm gonna get at y'all later.
All right. Well, I appreciate you popping in with us, man. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Big Newt from the JBD and Big Newt Show. Make sure you check him out every other Wednesday on the Buffalo Rumblings Podcast Network. Big Newt, take care, man. So, but Jesse, you hear like, and I get it. Like normally, I'm a whole lot more positive about my team. Like when we talk, like I'm a whole lot more positive.
I know.
And I still see a light at the end. Like I still think, again, we got Josh, so we could do it. But you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't feel like you feel right now, but look, one of my favorite players, all-time favorite players, is Charles Woodson. The Packers did not offer him a contract, and he wanted to stay. He said to them, I will take a reduced contract to stay. I want to stay here and play the rest of my career. They didn't even offer him a contract. So I know how you feel with that. I wanted to keep Micah Hyde. So I just think it's fair if we get Poirier, you keep Hyde. That's about fair because
Nah. You can't have my dog. But to be honest with you, I do think I think he's gonna end up signing in Miami. I really do. I don't want to accept that. It's gonna be. I told him, I was like, dude, just sign somewhere where I can actually buy your jersey. I can't buy a Dolphins jersey, man. Like, what are you doing? But I think that's where he's going.
Yeah, especially not to us. We not the Packers. You know us, draft and develop.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
we don't do free agents that much.
Mm-hmm.
Very rare.
So okay, well let's talk a little bit about life after Rodgers for you though, because you already talked about, you got Love, you've had him basically for his entire rookie contract, and now he's what, like you got, it's almost to the point where next year you have to give him a real contract, right?
This is fourth year coming up, so we actually are going to have to. They're going to have to pick up that fifth year option this year. If they don't, then what they'll be looking at is letting them play through this fourth year, and then having to give him a contract at the end of this season if they think he's okay. Now, they've already said, a lot of the Packers players and the front office has already said they believe that he is one of the better starting quarterbacks in the NFL. He will be one of the better starting quarterbacks in the NFL this year. Not that he's going to be another Hall of Famer coming back the same way that Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers and now Jordan Love, but if you can get a top 15 quarterback, I mean, you should be okay with that. We should be all right with moving forward with him with that.
How do you feel about him? Like, just based on the limited sample size you've seen, how do you feel about Jordan Love?
I feel pretty good about Jordan Love when I watch the way that he throw the ball. Jordan Love can put the ball anywhere on the field. I think a lot of what he doing is going to be game planning. Like, he can't play like Rodgers. And a lot of what I've seen when Jordan Love is playing is they're trying to make him play in that Aaron Rodgers offense. They need to go ahead and get him rolling and into the regular offense and get away from that, 5 wide receiver Aaron Rodgers offense and let him play under center a lot more. That's going to change the way that our offense run. And I mean, I think that he'll be just fine. That game against Philly last year, like, Philly's defensive players was coming out and saying that he really surprised them. And like, they threw a lot of stuff at him during that game, and he was able to read what they was doing and come at him. He scored, I want to say we scored 10 points in the last quarter that he played because Aaron Rodgers went out. That's when Aaron Rodgers hurt his ribs.
Okay, so now looking at your division, the way it's shaping up with the way guys are leaving or signing and all that. I wish everybody could have saw, so the people listening to my pod, I just wish y'all could have saw the fate or just the initial reaction that Jesse made even before I finished the question. But how do you feel overall, just as a Packers fan, the way the division is going to shape out this upcoming season? And this is very early. This is before the draft. It's before all of that. But just what you know now on how things are shaping out. How do you feel about the division?
I feel like Minnesota is going to end up being the worst team in the division. Well, let me back up. if Chicago do what they should do with all of that real estate that they got coming up. They got a lot of money. They got a lot of draft picks now after trading the #1 draft pick. They got a whole lot that they can use to build their team and make their team better. I don't think that they're going to come out and just be top of the division right away, but they're going to have to gel. It's scary to what they could build because it looking at what Detroit has done, and Detroit's still building. They still got draft picks and they building. That's the team actually that really scare me as to if they can do something on defense, they really gonna be pretty good because that offense that they got, I mean, they were a top offense in the NFL last year. They at home, which is the craziest thing. At home, they averaged over 30 points a game. It's just on the road, they could barely score 20.
Yeah, when we played them on Thanksgiving, Detroit, when we played them Thanksgiving, man, it was a tough game. It came down to the wire. Like, it came down to Josh, again, another game where Josh Allen had to have an amazing throw at the end of the game to Diggs to get into field goal range. But they have a tough defense. They have people sleep on their quarterback too. And I get it. When he was in LA, the running joke was about him and how, I get it. But listen, Detroit can make some noise. And I agree with you about Chicago. My only thing with Chicago, now this is me being bitter as a Bills fan. I get tired now. You know how, when Rodgers was in his prime and everybody wanted to compare the new guys, like this is the next Aaron Rodgers and this is the next Tom Brady. So now Josh Allen had, like, the first year in the league, he was horrible, right? Like he ran the ball well, but as a quarterback, he was inaccurate. We had buns as receivers. Like, we had Kelvin Benjamin as our wide receiver 1. And, it was horrible. It was horrible. But year 2 was a little bit better. But in year 3, we traded for Diggs and Josh, boom. Like, actually, no, it wasn't year 3 because it was year 4. But year 3, we got John Brown and Cole Beasley. Boom, made a jump. He he just looked like a different quarterback. Now everybody's saying, oh, they got DJ Moore now. They traded for Moore and they got Claypool there. And Josh Allen jump is going to be. I get so frustrated hearing that because everybody's not Josh Allen. And I think, as a Bills fan, you almost get offended because it's like, y'all need to put some respect on the type of work that Josh puts in. And then also just the freak that he is. Like, everybody ain't built like Josh.
I think that the Bears should have kept that #1 draft pick and drafted a quarterback. And they should have traded the quarterback they got right now. They should trade him. They should have traded him to try and get another draft pick in the first round if possible and drafted another quarterback because I don't think he's nothing but legs.
See, I mean, I like Justin Fields. I can't say
I like him, but I don't think he's nothing but legs. He's not going to ever be able to throw the ball the way that Josh Allen can. He's not that kind of quarterback.
I'll agree with you. Like I said, I'm not jumping off now saying that I think he's going to be this great arm talent, but I like him, and I'm glad that they showed some confidence in him. Like, I think that's good when an organization does it, but it's just like, man, let Justin Fields be Justin Fields. Quit trying to put that label on him that he's going to be the next Josh, because there's only, for everybody, because I like Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is not Josh. Josh ain't Joe Burrow. They're not the next Tom Brady. They're not the next Aaron Rodgers. Let these guys just be. So, and now before we get out of here, because I feel like we covered a lot, and I ranted a whole lot today. So I'm sorry, Bills fans. I'm so sorry. Well, normally I'm the very positive. Like, I'm the one that comes on these shows, man, and I'm just like, oh, man, y'all crazy. The Bills is like this, and you got to trust the process. We trust Brandon Beane, trust Sean McDermott. Oh, our offensive coordinator in his first year, we had the second best offense in the league, and y'all sitting here want to fire our offensive coordinator. Y'all crazy. Like, that's me every single week. And this is just
you was in your feelings today. I know.
Yesterday,
I know.
Yesterday, because I know like, obviously I ride for Josh and I ride Tremaine is like really my favorite player that was on the Bills team. And I'm saying that with relationship, like, I got relationships with guys, like, guys are friends. Tremaine Edmonds is my favorite player that was on the Bills roster. So, like, it hit me in a different way. Like, y'all really gonna just
y'all let my crush go.
You know, like dead ass, like y'all gonna let my like really? Okay. So, and people was texting, call Spencer, you good? I was like, no, I'm not good.
I
Leave me
wasn't
alone.
even gonna bother you, but I swear when I saw it, I said, "Oh, my man's feelings gonna be hurt for a while."
Dude, I tweeted immediately. I was like, I swear to God, I'm breaking up with the Buffalo Bills. I swear to God. You had some Bills fans was like, okay, bye. If that's gonna be easy for you to go, and I'm like, look, let me be emotional. It's okay. Let me process. So, but look, man, before we get out of here, let's talk a little bit just in general. I haven't spoken to you since actually we text here, but we haven't talked about football really in a while. So just in general, the draft is coming up, the way free agency is going. How do you feel the shift in the league? Like, obviously the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. So but do you feel that there's a team coming up that people should worry about just based on the way things are going? Or do what do you see coming for the draft and the season coming up after free agency?
Just before I get into that, you mentioned the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. They won that Super Bowl because they had the best quarterback, because they were not the best team in that Super Bowl.
100%.
So you think about who's going to win that division, and you can go right back to that same thing. As long as Josh is the best quarterback in that division, you ain't going to have to worry about it. And with Aaron Rodgers there, he the only one he going to have to compete with. They definitely ain't going to be third in that division. So, but anyway, what the draft is, I don't even know. Just thinking about Lamar, like, your cousin is in his feelings right now because Lamar finna be gone. And I was just like, well, maybe they're going to take them picks, let Lamar go, take them draft picks, and they're going to try to move up and probably try to get Richardson if they can, to put them back in the same offense and not have to change a thing because, they built that offense around Lamar. So I don't know. Maybe they're going to try and do something like that. But letting Lamar walk, they better have a really good plan for replacing him because that's not the kind of quarterback that you just let walk.
Now, see, I have a different perspective of that. And my cousin and I texted a little bit about it. I don't think that it's like the end of Lamar in Baltimore. I feel like what they're doing is they basically not calling this bluff, but they're saying like, look, we're not going to give you this fully guaranteed contract. If another team is going to do it, okay, we'll take the first round draft picks. But if you agree to any other contract, if they offer you something that's not fully guaranteed that we feel like we can swing, then we just gonna match it. And then you're a Baltimore Raven. And so what that does is you're making other teams do your homework. You're making them put the whole process in place, fill out all of the little things that he wants, and then jump in and say, okay, all right, you're a Raven. Like, let's stop this pettiness. That's how I see it.
And you hear a lot of everybody talking about collusion, and I really think that's the reason why all these teams are saying they out on Lamar, because they know Lamar ain't going nowhere. They know that at the end of the day, Baltimore can match whatever is put in front of Lamar. Baltimore can match it. So why are they spending all their time trying to go and get him when he's not going to come to them?
100%. Because now there's a part of me that's like, there could be some collusion because, I mean, the NFL owners are not, it ain't like they're the most trustworthy group of guys that.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt. So, I mean, there's a small part of me that'll be like, it could be some collusion. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at it like exactly what you just said. They're like, we know the Ravens, we just got done talking about how the Bills didn't make the playoffs for 17 years and how other teams, I used to get mad at you. I'm like, y'all go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. Like, I used to be so mad at y'all. And then, I was talking to all the other guys at work and I'm like, how y'all in Indianapolis? And I'm like, y'all go from Peyton Manning and then you draft Andrew Luck. Like, y'all don't understand what it's like. I was really emotional. I just don't think the Ravens are dumb enough to let a franchise caliber quarterback just walk out the building. I just don't believe that. So,
it's Bears fans right now talking about if Jordan Love turned out to be another Hall of Fame quarterback. He's one of the. It was a guy doing a podcast I was listening to. I listened to a lot of Chicago podcasts, but the guy said, "You know what? If Jordan Love is another Hall of Fame quarterback, I'm not watching football anymore. I am done. I'm just leaving football alone. I'm done with it."
It's so annoying. Even just the back-to-back, because I'm telling you, I was so mad at y'all. Like, and because every time we had these conversations and you just talk like with such a confidence, like, oh yeah, well, you got Aaron Rodgers, and I'm like, dude, you don't even understand what it's like to suffer. Like, you just don't understand. You go from Brett Favre. Now, I get it. Y'all don't win a Super Bowl every year. You got one with, so I get it. But still, man, you had good years. You go through years where you got MVPs. You got years where he's leading the league in passing. You got the best offense. You got all of this stuff. And we got EJ Manuel.
EJ was your man. Don't do that to him.
Well, no, he was, because I'm a Bills fan, so I was riding. Like, we could have had Baker Mayfield, and I would have been riding for him. But if you in that Bills blue, I'm riding with you. But we know EJ wasn't that dude. we know.
I've been having this real beef going on with my cousin about the Giants and Daniel Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe that they screwed up giving that man $40 million. There is no way. I told my cousin that I thought he should get he's not a $40 million a year contract quarterback. He's got to be in the 20s, or you let him walk.
He a backup.
And what I said is he got to be in the 20s because of the high rate that quarterbacks in the NFL make. You got to pay him that. To me, he should be making between 15 and 20 million a year. That's the quarterback that Daniel Jones is. And for him to be making 40 million a year, they setting their franchise back. And me and my cousin been going at it because he swear that Daniel Jones is as good as Kirk Cousins. And he should be making up there around that 40 million a year. I told him, you crazy. And all he said was, wait till you don't have Aaron Rodgers no more.
Well, that's the only part I can agree with.
The same thing. I said, dude, you had Tom Brady. He's a Patriots fan. You should know what good quarterback can look like. And to just settle for a quarterback that ain't good enough is, you don't overpay him like that to keep him. He's not worth that.
I agree. And real quick, before I want to comment on your cousins real quick, but before I do, the Bills have just restructured the contract of Stephon Diggs, converting his base salary into bonus, creating another $5.4 million in cap space. What the Bills are, they're going to try to do something. So people who are in a funk like me this week, just hold on, just breathe.
Now here comes the positive guy.
I'm trying. I had to force that out. I had to force it. But what I wanted to say about your cousins are Patriots fans, and they've been real quiet since before the first matchup from the Bills and the Patriots. I just want to say that. They was talking all that stuff before the game, and then I ain't heard from them since whatever week that was. And I don't know if I like that. Like, we supposed to, you know what I mean? Like, so let them know. Keep that same energy. Where'd I put it? I didn't keep that same energy. I had a thing that I was going to show you tonight, just so you could screenshot it and show them what I said. You know what I mean? Like, don't back out now. You got Mac Jones. Patriots fans, bums with his new.
Actually, going back to Daniel Jones, I think Mac Jones is a better quarterback than Daniel Jones is.
He is.
Like, so, and I was like, so you think Mac Jones is worth $40 million a year? He's not. No, that's just craziness.
We talked about it last week. Somebody asked it in the comments and was like, well, who do you take? Because it was right after Daniel Jones signed his contract. So they're like, well, who do you think is better, Mac Jones or Daniel Jones? And like, everybody was like, besides, I think Sterling one dude picked Daniel Jones. But everybody in the comments, and then me and my man answer, everybody picked Mac Jones. But we were still saying, but it ain't like he's like we don't look at him like a franchise quarterback. We just think he's better. Tell your cousins to keep that same energy, because when the season starts, I don't give a damn. Like, okay, Miami and the Jets might do what they do. Tell your cousins I'm coming for them again this year, because the way I would. Matter of fact, I need numbers. I don't want to go through you this year. Put us in the group chat or whatever you want to do. They gonna hear the real. It's happening.
We're gonna have to get you in our Made Men group so you can talk to the whole group.
I'm just saying
you can get all of them in there.
Because when I was in Indianapolis and they still had Tom Brady, they did not let me live. So it's time to repay the favor. I'm just telling you. We all at the bar on Sunday and they did not let me live one bit.
Oh yeah, they didn't let anybody live. Tom Brady won too many Super Bowls. They walk around with their chest out on everybody.
And I get it. When you're good, you're good. So, but all right, man. Well, let's go ahead and get up on out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, again, this is my man. This is my brother, Jesse. You got anything you want to end with talking about your team or anything?
No, we good. Go Pack, go. We good.
All right. And then
we're going to hurt some feelings this year. That's what I'm going to say. We're going to hurt some feelings this year.
I hope so. I always root for the Packers. I really do. And then earlier we had my man Big Newt joining us. He left. Everybody check out the Big Newt and Jamie D show on the Buffalo Rumblings Podcast Network every other Wednesday during the off season, and then every week during the season. And then y'all know how I do it over here. It's your boy JSpenceTheKing. Y'all love each other, take care of each other, and live in peace. And as always, stay positive. Even though I didn't do that this week, y'all stay positive and test negative. Go Bills.
Code of conduct.